In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a dip pen in order to create modern calligraphy. Now you can see that I've already made a pencil draft of my calligraphy here, which is a good idea if you're a beginner, because that way you don't have to worry about letter forms as you're writing. This video just has general tips over calligraphy. If a dip pen were super simple to use, I wouldn't have made a course over how to use it. I mean, it's not one of those things that you'll probably pick up immediately, and that's completely okay because the challenge is part of its appeal. But you will find some helpful tips here. So first, you dip your dip pen in the ink. And you're just going to dip it to about this vent hole right here. There's always a hole in the middle of your nib. And you can just shake off any excess ink back into this ink container. And then you'll want to move your paper, rotate it such that it's comfortable to write on it for you. I like to rotate my paper pretty severely, but just experiment with what works for you. Keep your pen at about a 45-degree angle to your paper, so you're not completely upright like you might be with a regular pen. And then you don't exert very much pressure on the pen when you're making upstrokes, but when your pen goes down, you exert pressure. And this paper that I'm writing on is 70-pound drawing paper. And sometimes this paper is really nice for calligraphy because it actually has a little bit of tooth on it. So you have something here for your dip pen to work with. You can see that as I'm writing, I'm simply pushing and pulling on the pen. So with a regular pen, we tend to use our fingers a lot and we wiggle the nib around in order to write. With this, the nib always stays in the same position, if that makes sense. So I'm not rotating the nib at all. I'm simply pushing and pulling it in order to write. And anytime you run out of ink, you just re-dip and start where you left off. Notice I'm not speeding up the video at all. I want you to have a realistic expectation of about how long calligraphy takes to write. And the truth is, calligraphy does take quite a long time to write. And that's nice because it's a very meditative, calming activity. So you shouldn't expect instant gratification when you pick up your dip pen. And that's what it looks like to create modern calligraphy with just a few simple tools.